Or I like the way you put a leader someone wants to follow, because I actually think that's what a cultural fit is looking for. And
Mhm.
sometimes you need someone who's a bit different. I think the humility is a good one though, because sometimes leaders come in and they're like, I just want to bring in my people. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, I'm sure a bunch of these people are pretty good on the team already. And maybe you can have the humility to like get to know why they couldn't get things done or what that looks like and help them. There's got to be a balance there sometimes.
For sure. I like the point Kyle brought up. The term that someone used the other day that I love was a culture add, right? So someone that could come in and provide a little something different. And I've always appreciated candidates that come from different companies because when you are at different companies, you get different perspectives. So the guy that's been at Salesforce or IBM for 30 years, I think there's very little right that they can offer to a company sometimes because they've just been machined into that thinking the way that is. But when you go to different companies, right, you get different perspectives. And so being able to bring that in and say, hey, when I was at company X, we went through X and this is how we got to Y. So I think sometimes that culture add, that's what that could kind of resemble, right? Is someone that says, yeah, I've seen different things and here's some different playbooks, but here's why I think it could, work in this particular situation.
Effective culture is when you constantly stimulate the group of people and to think in different ways, right? I think
Mhm.
that's kind of learning process, right? Like if you're trying to learn something, new area, domain, whatever that is, you got to get out of your comfort zone. And I think when somebody's bringing the different perspective, assuming with the good intentions, I think it's just good addition in the conversation. And then you're confronting this, right? I think we too often are afraid of using this word confrontation.
Mhm.
That doesn't have to be debilitating. It could be constructive, could be argument based, could bring some evolution on our perspectives as well, and pose the right questions. We might not get the answers, or we might not agree on the direction, but at least we start thinking about things.
I read something last week that talked just about that, right? How there could be healthy conflict as long as it's not, beat them up, drag out. But what it allows you to do is to think like, wow, I didn't see that point of view.
Yep.
And hopefully you go research to go and really the conversation was around, and not to get political, it was around, getting vaccinated versus not getting vaccinated. And so one was deathly opposed to vaccination, one was for it. But as they started to really see each other's point of view from a different perspective, they were able to kind of find some common ground. I mean, they still felt the way they felt, but at least they go, okay, I could see your point. I can see your point. So I do think there are times it's just where there is healthy conversation, a healthy conflict, if you will, right? To kind of get to a specific goal. The leaders that I've always respected most when they came into a new situation were those that knew they had the power to make a lot of change, but they were just a fly on the wall for the first quarter. They just wanted to see how things worked. They could make a slight change here or there, but they weren't trying to come in with the bulldozer to just change everything and go, oh, yeah, I've got the power to do it. It was more so like, there probably are some good things around here. Obviously, they brought me in, so there's some changes that need to be made. But how do I want to do that respectfully?
I like to call it healthy tension. Like, I feel like almost every team, you have an overarching goal that's the same, but your way to
Mhm.
get there is different, right? And so, how do you balance out through healthy tension or confrontation or conflict, the best route for us all to get on board with?